You can love it or hate it, but it's major, it's major.
What's up, angels? It's your Belle, and I'm back with another review of Love Goals. This was season 1, episode 4, and it was called Attached at the Hip. It wasn't too deep, so I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet. So without further ado, let's get right into it. The show opens up with the group in there shooting the breeze in the backyard, and Spirit comes and lets them know that the 5th couple will be joining them shortly, and she asked the group to be inviting to the new couple and kind of make them feel a part of the group. So a short time after that, Coolio shows up with his on and off girlfriend of 8 years, Mimi, and they get right into it. They want to know, hey, what's your problem? Why are you guys here? So it turns out that he's a cheater. He owns it, and he says he doesn't see things changing. So I'm not really sure why they're there, but I think, like he said, she wants someone to fix him and make him not a cheater anymore, because she spent all this time with this guy on and off, and basically have wasted her life with him, if you ask me. But she spent all this time with him, so of course she wants him to make an honest woman out of her and just do the right thing, settle down, be faithful, get married, be a family. So it seems like almost immediately they were called into their first session, and Coolio revealed that he was raised kind of to be a cheater. His mom and his aunts were cheaters, and their men were cheaters, and ultimately he grew up to be a cheater because there was a lack of people in his young life who took relationships seriously. Mimi says Coolio has left on occasion and gone without answering his phone for 3 days. And I just think that a lot of women take a lot of things that they shouldn't take and that they don't have to take. It's like, if you walk out of my life and you don't call me for 3 days, we're not together anymore. I don't even know why someone would have the audacity to think that they can walk in and out of your life like that unless you let them. But I guess, hey, the saying is true. A man will do what you let him do. I mean, Coolio even admitted, he said that he did it because he basically didn't give a F. He didn't care. He's one of those guys that kind of just ends up with the last one to take all his shit, basically. That's the only way I can see somebody like him ending up in a relationship. It's just that, like he said, he's 56. He doesn't want to be alone, but he's having a hard time changing because he really loves the way he is and he loves his lifestyle. So other than their issue with his cheating and everything, they got into an issue about deferment, and maybe we'll find out what that was about, because it's obvious that we're not going to find out in this episode, because it was very vague. The conversation about deferment was very vague. He basically said, if I'm right, she should follow me, because if she's right, I'll follow her. And it's hard to get her to follow him because she doesn't trust him. Basically, she's not a pushover, just like he said he loved about her, but she doesn't trust him. So we'll see a little. I'm sure that we'll get a lot more into what their issues really are, other than the cheating, in the coming episodes. Because if it's just the cheating, I don't see that changing, and it might just be something that she has to accept, kind of like she's done for the past 8 years with him walking in and out of her life. But moving on, it's the next morning, and Sunday goes into the room with Teresa and Althea, where Althea is saying that she basically wants to bring another man there, and, just having a little girl talk or what have you. Sunday runs and tells Benzino, and I'm not really sure why she did that, but I think she should have kept her mouth closed, because it sent him over the edge. I think that they were doing well and they were getting to a common place. And as soon as he heard that news, he went right back to square one. I mean, it's so obvious that Benzino really wants to be with Althea and that she doesn't want to be with him. I don't know if she ever did. I'm just going to be honest with you. She had an agenda, and so did he. But he was really looking for love with his agenda. So I just, I feel for him when I see him in tears, and when I see him get so upset because she's doing it on purpose. She knows that that's what is she knows that that's what makes her feel loved by him is when he reacts to certain things that she does. So if she could find another way to get him to show that he loves her, I think that this couple might be onto something. They're very invested, because or else they wouldn't be so emotional towards each other. So Benzino is going smooth off, and Spirit has to go out there and reel him back in and get him ready for today's exercises, which are some team building exercises for the group. Needless to say, she has had her hands full with Althea and Benzino for this whole time, but hopefully they do come to a common ground by the end of their therapy session, because it is a lot to watch, and it's very difficult to see them act like that, knowing that they have to deal with each other, regarding their son. So they get out in the middle of nowhere, and they begin their team building exercise, or their team building exercises between the couples. So Brianne and Sunday are chosen to go first, and they did the Meet Me in the Middle challenge, where they met in the middle of a beam that was, I think, did they say 10 meters high? Or it was so high. It was too high to just jump without a harness. So they met in the middle by walking toward each other. And at first, Sunday was really, really afraid. She was shaking. You could literally see her shaking because she's afraid of heights. And I think it made her a lot more comfortable when Brianne took the first step to show her that, hey, I'm doing this so you can do it. So they successfully met in the middle, and then they did the dance, and they crossed over each other. And it kind of was a tearjerker for me, because I know that despite how the relationship began, you can choose to do whatever you want with whomever you want. So even if you meet a hooker on the streets, if you choose to be in a relationship with her, you can do that. So I'm sorry about such a graphic analogy, but that's the only thing that came to my head. So they're choosing to be together, and they're working together, and it's really awesome that they were able to meet in the middle and get something from it. So next up, Coolio and Mimi take the leap of faith. This is a leap where they both climb to the top of a beam and they jump. And it's basically what they're doing in their relationship, because they have absolutely no reason to want to be with each other other than the fact that Coolio's lonely and Mimi has wasted 8 years on and off with him, coming in and out of her life. They don't have a reason to want to be together. I mean, not from what we've seen. And I know it's been not very much, but he's a cheater. She's accepting it, but she doesn't like it. So I don't understand how you come to the conclusion that you want to be with this person that does everything that you don't like. But that's how they met. And I love to tell my girls, the way you start it is the way you're going to finish it. But hey, they're also choosing to try to do something in a relationship, even though he's acting completely like he is not going to change. And you take him or leave him just the way he is. They go ahead and they take the leap of faith, and they do it successfully. And they got a hand clap from the crowd. I clapped for him too. I wanted to see him, succeed in the challenge. But next up was Dwayne and Teresa, and they did the Protect Your Neck challenge. This was a challenge where I think they were on the same beam as Brianne and Sunday, and they blindfolded Dwayne, and he had to take instruction from his wife in order to get across the beam. And I really liked this challenge for them, because while it seems like she's been struggling to have a voice with him in their relationship and like she's not really being heard, he had to listen to her. So it was awesome to see him listen and to see them succeed in their challenge. And it was more awesome to say, or to hear him say, of course I trust my wife. If you don't trust your wife, or if your wife ain't got your back, you're not even supposed to be with that person. So I was feeling you on that, brother. I really like them as a couple, though. They bring balance to each other. So moving on. Spin takes the leap of faith alone, and she climbed to the top of the beam with the encouragement of Q. And this exercise was designed to build her confidence and to make her not afraid of expressing her wants and expressing her needs without being rejected. Like she has an issue with rejection, so it makes her withhold the things that she really feels sometimes. And she's saying that she doesn't want to bring that into her relationship, even though she already has. So I do think that when she jumped off of the beam, that it was very liberating for her. And even though she missed the ring, it was a chance for her to let go, in a sense, and, let her new life be her life that's going to take over her being and the way she is from here on out. So when she jumped, before she jumped and she said, I gotta go. I really felt that. And it was really nice to see her succeed at her challenge and taking a leap of faith. Moving on. Oh my goodness. Benzino and Althea joined at the hip. Oh my goodness. Let me let you see a little bit of this one. Let me let you see a little bit of this one, and then I'll come back.
All right, guys. So for this next exercise, it is called Join at the Hip. Up next is the last couple to take today's challenge, is Althea and Benzino.
I'm not doing that.
Let's go, Z. Z, let go do this, man. This gonna be easy.
I'm not doing that.
Just take a walk over here then.
It's really bent out of shape, and he doesn't want to climb the wall with me. I may have to climb the wall by myself.
It's tearing me up.
I know, and I'm trying to move you past it. You gotta go through it. You gotta go through the pain.
I'm a man, yo.
Exactly.
Right.
So be a man right now. Be a man.
Why are you doing this to me?
Because I'm trying to save your life and your family, your son. Because she is the mother of your child. And if you're not in harmony with her, you're going to repeat the cycle with Zeno. This is for your legacy. Is he working?
Yeah, he's working.
Get your ass over there and
This
fight
is
for
f***ed
your
up,
life.
man.
Trust me.
This is f***ed up.
Trust me.
Me and Althea still are at odds, and it's hard for us to focus on what we're supposed to be doing without going at one another, so we'll see what happens.
Hey, Z, this for Lil Z, man. Nothing else.
I am totally dreading this climb.
Reach for it! Reach! Don't give up.
There you go.
Come on, Benzino, pull yourself up. You're almost to the top. You're almost there.
There you go.
Don't quit. Don't
Sorry,
quit.
Thea. Come on, everything.
Don't fall. We got this, Zeno. This is Zeno. This is Zeno.
Come on. Ring the bell, Thea.
You're right.
Ring the bell, Thea. Yeah.
Give me one.
I'm overwhelmed. Happiness is probably too shallow of a word, you know. She started crying, and I just was like, This is real.
Bounce off the wall. Bounce. There you go.
This was special. I'm never gonna forget this moment. I hope I got the mother of my son back. I love her to death and I want to be with her. I really can't tell right now how she feels, but regardless of that, it was an amazing moment for us to raise Zeno in a way better, more environment. And for him to see that is just so big for us, man. I cannot thank Spirit enough.
Good job, y'all.
Oh my gosh, was that not a tearjerker? They really have some real problems, and it's good to see them come together, even after Benzino walked away again, and he was so upset about what Althea told Sunday and Teresa earlier. They got together, they climbed the wall, they made it, they were successful, they hugged and cried at the end, and I was in tears. I mean, it just messed me up, honey. I'm sensitive, so I know a lot of people are not like me, but I am very sensitive, and that did it for me. It's good to see them come together, and it's good to see that they were able to work something out and do it finally. But that's how the episode ended. They walked away with their arms around each other, and here is a sneak peek of the next episode of Love Goals.
Today will be the most intense group that you will do during your time with me here.
Oh, man.
Dwayne,
You know, I'm a crack baby.
can you talk about it today? And I don't know. Sunday, can you share?
No.
My grandfather molested me when I was a child.
Shot him in the face. And I saw all his teeth come out of his mouth and a big ass chunk of meat go against the wall.
I was working at the crack house, and one day when I slid the peephole, my mother was there.
I pray, like, that God just, like, takes the stains away from my...
Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in once again. For more videos like this one, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And to be notified every time that I upload another video, don't forget to hit that notification bell. And until then...
Hate it or love it, or you can love it or hate it, but it's major, it's major.